So you want to build a house. Gonna be honest, sounds a little bit boring. I mean, maybe that was fun back in 2011 or 2012, but now it's 2019, times have changed. I can't be bothered to build houses anymore. I've built hundreds of them in Minecraft. So today, I'm going to build a redstone contraption that builds houses for me. Now, is this the first time I've done this? No, absolutely not. In fact, I've done it a bunch of times in the past. One of my first most popular videos was a self-building house. But every time new technology comes along, self-building houses get slightly easier. And today is the easiest one yet. He says, very confidently, before he's even started building it, that, yeah, I might regret... I regret saying those words. Okay, so first things first, I've got myself set up with a massive area that this redstone build is going to be going into, and the first thing I have to do is work out how big this house is going to be, and then I need to work out how I'm going to open up this hole in the ground so that the house can pop out. Now, I mean, the house isn't going to be ridiculously big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 by 8 sounds about right. That's a quarter of a chunk, which is quite nice. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that could be quite a cute little house popping up out of the ground. So stage 1 of the redstone contraption is to actually open up the floor. So we need to create an 8 by 8 trapdoor that is flush with the floor, which, you know, before honey blocks and things, that would have been a big ask, but now that we have honey blocks, that's actually, it shouldn't be too challenging, and the good thing is, it only has to be a one-use thing, which is even better. So I'm guessing, well, obviously we need the piston that is going to move it downwards, and then we just need a flying machine over here. And that's the ticket. It can't be that simple. Surely it can't be that simple. That's ridiculous. So if we just quickly unpower this sticky piston right here, that should move all of these blocks downwards, and then it should move all of the blocks out the way really quite quickly. Okay. That definitely needs to be a regular piston. Right, let's try that again. So if we unpower this piston, boom. There we go, door has opened. Everything's been moved out the way. Nice. That's the part that I was worried about. I was genuinely concerned about that bit. Alright, okay, so let's put a bunch of those in place. I guess we need 16 of them. And that will open up this entire thing. So here we go, we're getting there. We just need to make sure that we don't place honey blocks next to honey blocks, and we don't place slime blocks next to slime blocks, and then we're good. And I know I've said this every single video I've worked on a honey block contraption, but how cool is this? Like, how cool is it that we actually have the ability to do this stuff in Minecraft now? Even PewDiePie's getting involved. I mean, he made a flying Swedish meatball, and he mentioned me in his video, which was surreal. I fanboyed, not gonna lie. I also watched the stream where he made the flying Swedish meatball and he mentioned me there, and I fanboyed there too. I'm not embarrassed to admit it, okay? I'm a grown man and I'm fanboying. And you know what? Even me mentioning it right now is making me fanboy a little bit more. This is just a never-ending cycle. Anyway, moving swiftly on, backups have been made, because I'm about to do the first full test of our opening system. So, let's see what happens here then. Ooh. Huh? Yeah. No, I agree, Minecraft. I agree. I think it's the repeaters updating the observers. Let's see if that fixes it. It didn't, but now after a few more attempts, I reckon... Oh, let's try again. Multiple more times. And go. I can always rely on observers to save my bacon. Alright, there we go. Everything is opened up. Everything is clear. Our house can come through. This is perfect. So now what we have to do is work out how we're going to do all of the things that are actually going to push our house upwards. So the pistons need to come up to... Well, the highest they can go is this level right here, because then they will push up all of the floor blocks. So then underneath each one of those, we're going to have an observer... And then we would have something like a honey block or a slime block. But that is not going to go past our observers. They'll get stuck. Okay, no, okay, so we can just reduce the amount that these things push. So there'll be one block of dirt underneath, like that, and our honey blocks and things will actually... That means that they will automatically stop as well. That's actually quite helpful. Like, them being like that is actually quite handy, because they will automatically stop when they crash into these observers here, because this is going to max out the 12 block push limit. So that's worked out really, really well without me really expecting it. So now it's house building time. And now house building time is over. I've got the outside all worked out. It looks quite cute. I would actually quite like to live in this thing. Oh, we need, yeah, little balcony set up. Maybe something like that. You know, little balcony. I think that works. And now with the interior all done as well, this is the thing that is going to be constructing itself up on the top. So now we need to just place in all of the things underneath that are going to be pushing it upwards, which really was a terrible explanation as to what's going to be going on. So the first thing is like the piston pushers, the wall of pistons, I guess, and that is going to be... It's almost a little bit similar to what we have going on here, but we have alternating honey blocks and slime blocks as always, and then we've got all of the observers, and then we have all of the pistons. So every single time one of these gets moved upwards, all of these observers will fire, causing all of these pistons to fire, and that means that we can push up to 12 blocks vertically. But you know what I've just realised? Oh, I have built this in my backup world. The doors are opened, okay? They shouldn't be open, they should be closed. But I can't close... You have to rebuild all of this top section to close it. But I've already done all of this. So I am going to have to rebuild the top section. But that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think I've got my flying machine worked out. So this little thing right here will take off. That will push that up, which will push that up, which will push the entire house up. So... just like pretty much everything else in this build, 16 of them are required. We need to tile all of these things, and these will all be working together. And now that they're all in place, I just want to see if they even work. Now, our house is going to collapse in on itself, okay? So don't expect anything special here, but I want to see if they actually move. Look at the house! Alright. Oh, no way, that actually works. It's a self-building ruin. But if we don't want it to be a ruin, then we need to use a tried and tested technique. Now this is the technique that I used on my first ever self-building house. And to this day, there's no better way to do it. To be honest with you, this is the smartest way to do things. So you just surround everything with infested stone, right? And then once the house has popped up, you poison a handful of silverfish that are in a hole somewhere, and then all of the silverfish will pop out. Obviously, you'll have a slight infestation in your house once it's built itself, but still, it works. Wow, it is dark in here. I can't really tell where I'm placing it. Hopefully, I don't forget one, because then you end up with one part of the house that just falls apart. There is, of course, one slight issue with the silverfish system, and that is the fact that, yeah, when you're standing in the ground in front of where the house is going to be, you get this noise quite a bit. But anyway, they're in place. We've got our dispensers in place with the splash potions. I'm going to do another one on the other side because this is quite a big place, and I don't think the recognition will reach this side, so we'll do another one on that side too, and then I'll have to link up all of the timing circuits and then rebuild all of this stuff. These are now hooked up, and I would say that the way that I'm going to activate the silverfish systems is to actually use the flying machine. When it gets up into the correct position, then I will send a signal from that into these things, because obviously we want that happening right at the very end. But I've just thought, actually, these guys, they need to be renamed, otherwise they're not going to be there for very long. They're going to despawn pretty quick. So after about 30 minutes of getting everything prepared, I think we might be good to go. All the redstone is covered up. All we have is a little meadow right here, but this little button is going to open up everything. I have my fingers very crossed. Okay, there is the reveal. And then here it comes. Okay, so there is our house. And then hopefully... No way, it actually works. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the silverfish infestation is pretty serious. Okay, there's a lot of silverfish around here. Oh, and there's still some up at the top of the ceiling, but you know what? That actually looks quite cool, so I'm just going to ignore that because this house is actually very pretty. That is so smooth. I mean, look, that's just appeared out of the ground. That has just built itself out of the ground. If only there was some way that I could then pull it down underneath the ground, which I'm sure you might be able to do now with crazy honey block structures, then that would be awesome, but I am not smart enough for that. But still, I love this thing, and I love self-building houses. They're one of my favourite redstone contraptions to work on, so I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya! Honestly, this video brought back so much nostalgia. I remember the first self-building house that I did was probably one of my first really large-scale redstone projects. I can't even remember how I did it. I did some weird stuff to make it work, and I know it had TNT dropping in from the top and things. I don't know, I might have to go back and watch it.